Hey, what's up, family? How you doing? Welcome to another live. Just waiting on more people to come into the live. Hope everybody having a good day, had a good week. I just want to apologize. I know I've been gone for about a week. I was just grinding, doing some things, and I hope everybody come on tonight. So I just want to wait for more people to show up. Hey, what's up, man? Marcus, you always there. What's up? What's up, man? What is up? Hey, man, I apologize, brother, that I wasn't there last week, man. I've been grinding. I got something special to show you guys, man. Let you know I've been grinding. I got a something special for y'all. Okay. All right, we got 4 people in so far. Okay. All right, cool. We're gonna get this party started, man. We're gonna get this party started. So let's do it.
Tony Rome Live.
What's up, guys? What's up? I see we got 5 people in so far. What's up, guys? I got something I want to share with you guys. I'm trying to do more with my channel, but I want to show you guys something. I am a published author of a sci-fi novel. The name of it is called Descent into Chaos. I wrote this book I wrote this book back in 2005. And geopolitically, everything that you're seeing that's happening right now is in this book. So you can get this book on Amazon. I'm going to play it. I want y'all to check out this book trailer that I made for this book, okay? It's probably going to blow you away a little bit. So I want y'all to check this out. And I want you all to tell me what you guys think about this book trailer, okay? Here we go.
Hoorah! 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 Hoorah!
How did we miss this? How could we let this happen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the book trailer, man. What y'all think about the book trailer, man? Let's see. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be advertising about my book. Sometimes doing the lives and everything. Yeah, 2 Americans was arrested. Yeah. It's a sword, man. It's going through a lot of changes, man. Yes, and Sewell is really going through a lot of changes, but I told you so. I've been predicting this that things was going to change. You know what I'm saying? The type of content people is putting out there. And they put all their business on YouTube and stuff. So there you go. I mean, that's too bad. Yeah. So basically, I just want to talk about, I'm going to talk about Dr. Umar bankruptcy. We're going to go through that. I know y'all been hearing about what's been going on with him. And then we're going to get into the Colombian news, too. The Colombian man died in Brazil. Yeah, it's a lot going on, man. But you got to be careful out there. I just watched a video with Obiland, and there was a guy that was scoped. You know, you got tourists are still getting scoped in Medellin. They're still getting scoped. They still haven't really learned their lesson, you know. So Obiland, he did a really, I just watched his video. He did a real good video on a commentary on the guy actually catching the girl that scoped him. You know, but one thing I don't understand, nobody never does consultations or anything. I highly recommend. Hey, Joseph, what's up, man? What's up, brother? Good to see you. I highly recommend consultations before you travel to these countries. Like if you're going to Brazil or if you're going to Colombia, even the DR or China or Thailand, I would highly recommend. You saw the video, there were guys catching the females. Yeah. The guy catches the female that scoped him. Yeah. But I don't understand why people are still going to Colombia being very careless. It's been over 70 people that has been unalive because of scopolamine in Colombia, because they don't get consultations. They go down there the wrong way. Donald Trump signed to make people fit again. WD former legend superstar CEO Triple H was at the White House. Wow. Well, I got to tell you some things about what Donald Trump is doing, and everything he's doing is backfiring on him. It's backfiring on him. But I got some news for you about the Umar Johnson thing. There's some things I want to tell you about this guy. I'm not trying to troll him, but Umar Johnson needs to wake up. That brother is 54 years old. He needs to wake up. Did y'all see this?
I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th. Only to discover that I could not log into my account.
Really?
So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me they had no record of my account. So then I called the bank. And the bank told me that my personal account, as well as the independent Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy account, have both been frozen. Both bank accounts have been frozen. And I was told that there is an investigation into my personal account as well as the school account. I asked them, was this due to suspicion of any fraud on my part? I was told that it was not due to suspicion of any fraud on my part, but I was told that it was due to suspicion of fraudulent activity. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access into my personal account and the FDMG account. Brothers and sisters, if you have sent a donation to FDMG, let's give it until the end of the month to see if this gets cleared up. They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude.
Okay, hold on. Let me pause this for a minute. To the people who get drugged in Colombia, for my truthful advice, I don't judge them. Yeah, I don't judge them either, but what I'm saying is you should always get a consultation. You can get a consultation for me because I'm going to tell you how to move down in Medellin. Okay? I've been going to Colombia for years, and I never got, I never got drugged. Not one. People put a lot of bad stuff about me on YouTube. Talk about Tony got drugged, but I've never gotten drugged before. Now, I was a victim of extortion before. That can happen. We're going to talk about extortion too after this. But there's certain things that you just don't do. For number one, you don't look at the person's ID. We're going to talk about this tonight. Matter of fact, the video I just saw with Obi-Land, I'm not trolling this brother. I'm not saying nothing bad about this brother. But he passed all the warning signs. He passed all the red flags. It's also a shame that all the people saying that they're simps. Yeah, I never call nobody a simp. I never do that. Never.
They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude. If you have sent a check or money order donation to FDMG, let's wait until August the 1st, Black August, and see if this situation has gotten cleared up. They told me they sent me a letter to this point on July the 10th, the day that I left for South Africa. I was told that the timeline of suspicious activity was June 25th to July the 10th. I was told that the timeline for suspicious activity was between June 25th, that's when Medea went public. Everybody knows who Medea is. July 25th, that's when Medea went public. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. So y'all know my suspicion. I believe Medea and Pastor Bussy were fraudulently trying to get into my account. And if we find out that's the case, they will be sued and possibly arrested because fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is federal offense. I
don't think it's fraud. I think the feds frozen his account. I think the feds probably frozen his account.
Fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Again, June 25th to July 10th is the period of suspicious activity. That is from the time Medea went public and I left for South Africa. So brothers and sisters, if you want to make a donation to FDMG, you must send it to PayPal. Hold off on the checks and money orders until the situation is resolved.
See, we don't know if he's telling the truth or is he trying to do a scam. It sounds, I'm not trolling this brother, but something about this looked very suspicious.
Hold off on all FDMG Academy money order and check donations until the situation is resolved. If you want to make a donation to FDMG, send it through PayPal. Right? PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. If you want to make a donation to the school, hold off on checks and money orders until we find out what the hell is going on. The bank is investigating the fraudulent attempts on our account. If I find out Medea and Pastor Bussy had anything to do with this,
Pastor who?
I was told that they can be arrested for federal offense. I was told they can be arrested for federal offense. I was told they can be arrested for federal offense. Now, with that being said, brothers and sisters, Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple.
So he's been on YouTube, he's been on social media begging for money.
Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifa Tunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my PayPal. My personal PayPal account is Umar the Psychologist at yahoo.com. So that's paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist. PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist.
What's up?
PayPal.me/UMARTHEPSYCHOLOGIST. PayPal.me/Umar the Psychologist. Or hit my Apple Pay using my cell number 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. I've never asked the people for $1. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life. I've only asked you to donate to the FDMG Academy for Boys. I don't have any sons. I have 2 daughters. So the FDMG campaign is a selfless project, mission, and service to provide our boys with the education that they deserve.
Wow, Dr. Umar Johnson. Man, he was on YouTube begging for money, talking about his account has been robbed. He's been talking about, about his Boys Academy that he never did. I don't know what's going on with this guy. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's been talking about this school for a long time. He's tried to open up what you call Marcus Garvey Boys Academy. And I remember back in 2014, he was talking about this. And that's 2014. This is 2025, and he still hasn't even opened the school yet.
Is the status of the school?
Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey. What is the status of the school? Well, tomorrow morning I got to meet with a door contractor. I want to get some new doors. The doors we got are good. They're secure, but they're old. And since the school is 15 years old, physically the school is 15 years old.
Yes.
We've had it for 5 of those 15.
Because he's been talking about this for a very long time. I remember back in 2014, he was talking about opening up a boys' academy. And what's so suspicious about this is that he's been getting thousands and thousands of dollars in donations, up to $1 million. So where did all that money go? Where did all of that money go? Now, did you know that they have no sympathy for them? Because you know they're not to do, and you still did it. I don't understand what you're talking about, Marcus. I don't understand. But yeah, I think it's possible that he could be scamming people. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I'm just want to show you this one clip that this guy he did. He got some receipts on Dr. Umar. And he's been evicted multiple times. But I guess the point that I'm trying to drive out, this guy's 54 years old. He's 54 years old. You know what I'm saying? And he's still doing this type of stuff.
Hill Associates, this date filed was 12/15/2010. Umar Abdullah Johnson and all other occupants, the address is here. I redacted that. I redacted this again here. Right here it says, through whom the defendant claims under terms of written lease commencing on September 1st of 2009, $89 a month from January 1st, 2011, date of hearing, et cetera, et cetera.
So here's proof that he's been evicted multiple times. He's been evicted from apartments multiple times. So a lot of stuff that you see him doing, he's doing it out of apartments. He's been saying the same thing that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Yes. He's been saying the same thing for over a decade. Yes, he's been saying the same thing. And he still haven't got nothing accomplished. Nothing. That's him getting married in front of the boys' academy. The Marcus Garvey Academy is still not even up yet. And he just keep giving excuses. But he's out there begging right now, so I don't know, man. But he's too old to be acting like that. Omar Johnson is 54 years old. You know what I'm saying? And you living out of hotels and you have nothing to show for it all these years. You know what I'm saying? Pretty soon you're going to get up there in your 60s and your 70s. So that's the reason why I did this video on Omar Johnson. Because his whole life he's been doing this pandering to people about the school, but there haven't been no results of the school. There hasn't been no school. It's been 2014, still no school. You know, but I think eventually, I think what's going to happen, I think the feds eventually is going to get him. I think the feds eventually is going to get him. Yes, I'm going down to Colombia. I'm going in September. I'm getting everything all together. But there's been some drama stuff. We're going to get into that, right now. We're going to get into the Colombian, content right now. There's some things that you guys should know. I got one more thing on the economic collapse I want to tell you guys about. I don't know if you heard, but Tyson Chicken is closing factories. Yes, Tyson Chicken is closing factories and thousands of people getting laid off. I'm going to tell you this quick report, then we're going to get over into the Colombian content.
Closing two of the complexes, one in Virginia and one in Arkansas.
Tyson Foods is closing 4 more chicken plants, and that's after already shutting down chicken facilities in May and laying off 1,700 workers.
In just 18 months, Tyson Foods has closed 8 plants, erasing nearly 3,000 jobs in Arkansas, Indiana, Missouri, Kansas, and Pennsylvania. A colossal shock for thousands of American working families. The higher the tariff, the more likely the company will come into the United States and build a factory, Donald Trump declared boldly.
And see, that's the problem, because what's happening, what Trump is doing is he's going about it the wrong way. He's going about it the wrong way, because what the tariffs are doing is sending jobs away from America, because most of these manufacturing jobs cannot afford to come back into the United States and own business. So this is what Tyson Chicken is doing. Hey, what's up, man? Man, I'm so glad to see you, brother. What's up? Yeah, good evening to you. Oh, wow, still in the New Jersey arena. Okay. Let's see. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you all, man. Salute to y'all. Let's see. I fired his BLS here. Yeah, man. He's the opposite thing. His terrorists are having the opposite effect. But look what happened to Tyson Chicken now. They shut their factories down because they can't compete.
As if every tariff barrier were an unbeatable bring jobs home trump card. Yet the harsh reality is stark. Instead of returning home, Tyson fled, leaving behind struggling towns with idle production lines and now hiring signs collecting dust. In this video, you'll see why Trump's promise of jobs, jobs, jobs has morphed into an endless chain of export layoffs, and why the fallout doesn't stop at Tyson Foods. And don't forget to hit subscribe on Deep State to uncover the clash between sky-high policy promises and the real-world lives of American workers under Trump's sweeping trade agenda. Tyson Foods has just weathered one of the most headline-grabbing shutdowns in American food processing history. Yet President Trump's sky-high tariff policies have only deepened that shock. Over the past 18 months, Tyson Foods has pulled the plug on 8 meat processing plants, wiping out roughly 3,000 jobs across Arkansas, Indiana, Missouri, Kansas, and Pennsylvania.
Y'all hear that? So that's over 3,000 people just lost their jobs.
Although company executives insist this was merely an operational optimization, 2 facilities in North Little Rock, Arkansas, and Corydon, Indiana, shuttered almost overnight, leaving hundreds of workers without paychecks in the blink of an eye.
Wow.
Meanwhile, at the White House, Donald Trump remains unfazed. He declared, "The higher the tariff, the more likely the company will come into the United States and build a factory."
That's not true. That's not true. Because let me tell you guys something. Back during World War II, back after World War II, this country was an industrialized country. We used to make everything. We used to make automobiles. We used to make everything. Everything was made in the U.S. But the problem is, as time went on, we began to outsource all of our manufacturing. So we don't manufacture anything anymore. So what Trump is trying to do is trying to reverse that was done like over 30 or 40 years ago. But it's too late. Sadly, one person on YouTube was saying that Melania King was almost favoring Trump, saying that the tariffs weren't that bad. They still want to talk about the Democrats. But yeah, I know they keep reflecting everything to Joe Biden, the Democrats. Let me ask you a question. Okay, we're just going to get this over and then we're going over into the Colombian content. Okay. Let's say I'm Brazil, okay? Let's say I have a phone. I export electronic equipment like phones and things over to the U.S., okay? Just stay with me just for 1 minute, okay? Then Trump turns around and says, okay, I'm going to put 35% tariffs on the sale of your telephones. Okay, I'm going to put a 35% tariff or maybe even a 50% tariffs on your telephones and all your electronic equipment. Okay, so what that going to do is that's going to basically hurt me, but it's going to hurt the American consumer at the same time because a tariff is a tax. That's all it is. They call them, they got different names from, they call them duties, they call them different names, but it's just a tax being added on the merchandise that there's already a tax on, but it's like a double tax. That's what a tariff actually is. Okay? So you're trying to punish, so I'm Brazil, and you're trying to put tariffs on, 35 or 40% tariffs on me. But check this out. This is what countries are doing. They saying, guess, you know what? I don't have to sell this phone to the U.S. anymore. I can sell it to China. I can sell it to India. I can sell it to Ethiopia. I can sell it to so many other different countries. So if there's another country that will say, hey, you know what? You can sell that same phone to me, but I'm not going to put no tariffs on it. Just free trade. Which one you going to go for? You see what I'm saying? Which one are you going to choose?
On paper, it sounds logical. Slap on sky-high duties to goose domestic investment. In reality, however, Tyson Foods did the exact opposite. Rather than relocating production back to U.S. soil, this nation's top meat processor has been on the run, forcing thousands of employees into economic limbo.
Wow.
Let's break down the tariffs Trump has slapped on American industry. A 25% levy on imported steel and aluminum,
That's what I've been
additional duties on foreign-grown meat, and
Yep.
even the threat of a 2,000% tariff on Mexican auto imports to protect domestic manufacturers.
He wants to put a 2,000% on tariff on Mexico.
Such staggering fees rattled businesses nationwide. Input costs soared, supply chains buckled, and CEOs were left weighing profit versus pain. Tyson's sprawling production network depends on flexible access to raw materials. When tariffs spiked, so did feed costs, freight charges, and logistics expenses. The boardroom's answer? Restructure the company, close underperforming plants, and shift capacity to newer facilities or lower-cost regions. What's truly shocking is that the North Little Rock plant, home to over 300 workers, and Corydon, employing more than 500, were decommissioned without any plan to reopen.
And you know what? I know some of you guys voted for him. I'm not saying nothing bad about him, but I look at the actions, what he's doing, and what the policies that's happening. We're being alienated more and more and more. Because what countries are doing, they're going around the tariffs. They're going around. So you know what? Because matter of fact, there's a nasty trade war between Brazil and America right now. There is a nasty trade war between Brazil and America right now. Brazil said, you know what, we don't need you. We only do 1% export. We only depend on you only 1% of our economy anyway. So this is the thing that is making BRICS stronger. And guess who's thinking about joining BRICS? You're not going to believe this. You are not going to believe this. Hey, Chris, man, I got to talk to you, brother. Man, it's so good to see you, Chris. I'm getting ready for my next trip to Colombia, and I'm scared. I'm really afraid because I'm telling you, Trump is making a lot of enemies, man. He's making a lot of enemies, man. And I hope Colombia, don't YouTube if we're saying that the old world is going away and with the new. Yeah, there's the global south. There's a change. What's happening is the wealth is being moved from the west and going to the east. Okay, that's what you're seeing, and it's called the global south, which is Iran, which is China, which is Russia, and a lot of the African countries. You got Ethiopia, you got Malaysia, you got Indonesia. Okay. All these countries are saying that we want to do our own thing. We don't need America anymore. We don't need America. We want to do our own thing because America comes across as being a bully. You do what we tell you to do, or we're going to put this on you. If you don't do what we tell you to do, we're going to put this sanctions on you. If you don't do what we tell you to do, we're going to put 50%. What he's doing is he's pushing people away from you. You're not drawing people to you. So look what's happened to Tyson. All these people are going to lose their job.
Open equivalent lines stateside. Butchers, technicians, and warehouse staff woke up one morning to a dead production line. And Trump's promise to bring jobs home evaporated like a hollow slogan.
No, he's not going to bring nothing
The
home.
gulf between campaign rhetoric and real-world fallout became undeniable when Tyson had to set aside hundreds of millions of dollars for severance and site closures, even enlisting government help to find displaced workers.
So
clearly, tariffs aren't forcing companies home. They're pushing them to cut U.S. production and chase profitability elsewhere, or simply export those layoffs. So here's the question. Were Trump's jobs threats really meant to drive businesses back to American soil? Or did they pressure them to abandon ship? With costs skyrocketing, corporations will always chase the bottom line, not build new plants. And the unvarnished truth lies in the data. Thousands unemployed, hundreds of millions spent on shutdowns, and once prosperous communities left reeling.
I gotta tell you what's going on.
Next up, we'll dive into how Trump's tariff machine actually operates, trace its ripple effects through the food supply chain, and forecast the future of America's meat processing industry, where bringing jobs home could become a never-ending cycle of export layoffs.
You're not bringing jobs home.
Is this protectionist policy saving U.S. jobs
No.
or cornering businesses into a no-win scenario? Let's find out. On Monday morning, many Perry plant workers barely had time to open an email titled "Plant Closed" before, by that afternoon,
Just like that.
they found
Plant
themselves
closed.
staring at the factory's silent gates, with no chance to prepare or receive the 60-day WARN Act notice.
Did you hear what happened?
Among the nearly
all those employees wasn't even prepared. They didn't even give them a 30-day notice. They didn't even give them a 30-day notice. Because let me tell you something. You losing your job, that is one of the most horrific things that a person can deal with, losing your job. And I'm sure you got people that have been at these factories for years. They've been in these companies for years. And you just open up an email, so your services no longer need, your services is no longer needed. And what I'm telling you, this is happening all across America right now. So these people that have been at this Tyson food company, this processing company, what they going to do? These people got kids. They got mortgages. They got car payments. They don't stop. If you live in an apartment and you lease an apartment, you skip 1 month, they'll kick you out. Let me give you an example where I live at. I live in an apartment. No matter how long you've been here, no matter how long you made your payments on time, once you're 5 days late, they slip a notice up under your door saying that you're late, $75 late fee. No, it's more than that now, $100 late fee. And then if you don't pay within 15 days, they put a notice of eviction on your door. I see it all the time. They do not care. And, according to some of the economists, most people, you may not believe this, most people are only one check away from being homeless. Did you hear what I said? I said most people are only one check away from being homeless. Most people only have 5. They said, economists have said that most people don't even have the money to get their car fixed if their car would break down. That's why so many people are using credit card debt. So you're getting more into a bigger problem. No disrespect that you don't know these people, they could be finding other work. Let me tell you something, Marcus. Finding work right now is not easy. It's not easy. The economic system in this country is changing. We are headed towards not a recession, but a depression. Did you guys see the jobs numbers last week? Did y'all see the jobs numbers last week? In the month of July, there were only 78,000 jobs created. Matter of fact, Trump got so mad, he fired his bureau statistic person, the lady. He fired her, saying that she was wrong. It couldn't be the truth. He fired her. And she's been at this job for I don't know how many years. Because he couldn't believe that there was only 78,000 jobs created. As a matter of fact, the numbers are much worse than that. The landlord they want their money. Part of the coldness and the COVID and the tenant, they want their money. Yes, they do. They don't play. They will kick you out. Even here where I stay, I see people getting evicted all the time. I come home from work, I see piles of stuff on the street. Just piles of stuff. Their furniture, their cocktail table, all your stuff is just piled up in one big pile. And you see people going through going through your stuff, see what stuff that they could take. Yeah, it's responsibility. But what I'm saying, Marcus, is that people would, like in this situation with Tyson Food, they didn't even give them no notice.
The 1,300 employees affected in Perry, a full 60% are immigrant workers who rely entirely on their poultry line wages to feed their families. Behind this sudden blow lie the loopholes in the WARN Act, the federal law that requires employers to provide at least 60 days notice before a mass layoff.
60 days notice before the layoffs.
Internal documents from Tyson revealed deliberate delays and the dumping of critical news into late emails, designed to evade both union scrutiny and media attention.
Yep. So let me see. What's up? I say, Tony, did you hear that last week Tanzania is banning foreign small business? Yep, they are. Yes, I did hear about that. Yes. Yeah, they what you're talking about, Chris, is that Tanzania only want Tanzanians to open up businesses in their country, not foreigners. Because mostly due to the influx of Chinese. Yeah, the Chinese, they are expanding all over the world. China's not paying around. Matter of fact, they got this car. I don't know if you guys heard about it or not. Let me tell you something. What's really hurting us today. We're going to get into the situation in Colombia I want to tell you guys about. But there's something that you should know. In manufacturing automobiles, China is kicking our ass. Let me tell you why. An average cost of a car in this country, in the U.S., is $40,000 to $50,000. And then not only that, then they come with these commercials. Well, you can lease one for about $400 a month for maybe a 16-month lease or 2-year lease or something. Let me ask you a question. Who has $45,000, $50,000 to buy a car? And then you're dealing with inflation. You're dealing with, your utilities is more expensive. Your grocery bill more expensive. Who can afford $50,000 for a car? Let me tell you what China did. And this is how they're beating us. If you would go to Colombia right now, and matter of fact, when I go there, I'm going to show y'all this when I go to Colombia. Please pray for me that this trip be a good trip. Because I'm being honest with you, I am a little nervous because this geopolitical tension and stuff between the U.S. and Colombia is not that good. And with Brazil, it's not that good. But check this out. The Chinese, they have an automobile industry. The name of it is called BYD, Build Your Own Dreams. If you go to Europe, if you go to Colombia, if you go to some of the South American countries, you will see those electric cars everywhere. And guess what? You can buy a BYD. They showed it. I saw it myself. It had leather seats, beautiful made car with a sunroof, everything, beautiful panel in the front. Gorgeous car, beautiful car. That car was going for only $10,000. The Chinese was able to make a car almost for $20,000. Which one you gonna buy? You gonna buy the $50,000 car, or are you gonna buy the $10,000 car? And those cars, if you go to Colombia and you look at most of those cars, you're gonna see BYD on them. They're killing us. That's what I'm talking about. We keep still doing the same thing. Okay. Let me see. Look at the moral of whether to stay in our financial lane. Some people are expensive, some people are cheap. It's okay to eat the expensive, okay? But I'm just looking at, I'm not saying you can buy whatever you want to buy. It doesn't matter what you want to buy. But I'm looking at the state of the economy, and you have thousands upon thousands of people are getting laid off. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna get into the Colombian news now.
Or that grows indigenous down there. You take like just a little, like some seeds out of the middle of this flower, and you can just like blow it on somebody, or make it into powder and put it into somebody's drink. It will make the person completely black out, but they'll have all of their motor skills. They'll have all full physical mobility. So people will get drugged with scopolamine. They will be walking around, and I could say, hey, take me up to your apartment and give me your TV and all your money and all your furniture, and you'll just do it.
Let me pause this just for 1 second. Okay, we're done with this. Okay. Renaissance Man, did you hear that, matter of fact, it was in the news that they're going up on the association fees on condos. They're going up on the association fee on condos, so people can't afford their condos now. This happened here. Matter of fact, they had a protest here where I live at. And they raised it like close to maybe over, man, I'm talking about over 60 or 70%. They decreased the association fee. So even though if you buy a condo, that doesn't mean anything because you got to pay the association fee. So you have people that are seniors that are angry because they have to pay more association fee. And the association fee is just like rent. And I do understand what you're saying about buying a house. I live in Michigan. They've been raising the fees. Yeah. I mean, for a lot. We're talking about a substantial amount. So now you have seniors that have condos that can't afford the payment because the association fee is too high. And let me tell you something else about buying a home here. Okay. I can't even imagine how much a home is in California. Renaissance Man. I don't even know what I can imagine. It's a lot to buy a house in California. But let me tell you this. Back in the day, in Detroit, you used to be able to buy a house in Detroit for $50,000, a bungalow house. I remember, or 40, you get even luckier. Yeah, over 700,000. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Now let me ask you a question. Unless you're a very rich person who can afford $700,000 for a house. Unless you're rich. Now I'm not saying there's some people are rich out there. But when I talk about this, I'm talking about, the average person. Okay? I remember our house here in Michigan used to be $30,000 to $40,000 for a starter home. They used to call them starter homes. The average cost of a house in Detroit, in this area where I live, is like $300,000 to $324,000. And if you talk about going out to the suburbs, like buying a ranch home or something like that, then you talk about $400,000 to $500,000. And I remember that a ranch home in this area where I live used to go for $140,000. You can't even buy a house for $140,000. And then let me ask you a question. Let's say if I go to the bank tomorrow, okay? This is the economic collapse I'm talking about, y'all. This is what I'm talking about, the economic collapse, okay? Even if I go to the bank right now and say, okay, I want to buy a house. And the house that I want to, let me get some of these things out the way. Let's see. Marcus, how about Westchester County, New York, or northern New Jersey? Is that expensive too? This is expensive. Yeah. What about it, Marcus? How's it there? Okay, let's see. Jay, imagine, man. Ooh, I don't want to imagine. Okay. Let's see. Starter homes that you check it now, fixer upper houses, starter home prices, and so yeah, they're expensive. Is that starter home prices? Yeah. In 1975, Winchester, New York, the suburbs cost $40,000. Now it's $1 million. Yes, yes, yes. It used to be like that in Detroit. You remember I told you? I said the average cost of a house was about $45,000 to $50,000. I told y'all that. I said it was $40,000. I said it was $50,000. Now an average home you buy now is over $200,000. In San Diego, the best investment was buying the real estate here. Right? Even saw a tiny apartment in Manhattan, $2,000 a month. Whew. Wow. And that's with no bathrooms, no kitchen, nothing. Yep, told you. I told you so. Imagine Toronto, Ontario, Canada. They are expensive too. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Except the front door. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Toronto is very, very, it's very, very expensive in Toronto. But let me ask you a question. Just imagine if you buy a home for $324,000, right? You buy the house for that amount of money. Even if you finance that home for over 30-year mortgage, you still won't be able to pay the house off. Because you know the bank going to add interest to the loan, whether it be 5, 6, 7%, it all depends on your credit. So you probably will not live long enough to pay the house off. And it's getting worse. So that's why I talk about the economic collapse. Our first living in San Diego, living into Mexico and commute to work. Well, I heard Mexico's kicking them out, man. They don't want us there anymore. It's called gentrification, and they do not want foreigners in Mexico. The locals are protesting. There was a big protest out there in Mexico not too long ago. "90-year leases, that's ridiculous. You're paying for something, but you'll never own it. The only way you can own something, unless you become rich through the lottery or something like that you could pay cash for a house, or if your parents have passed away and they paid their house off and they will it to you. That's the only way I can see it. Panama would take us for citizenship. What you mean by that, Renaissance man? You said that it's better to expat to Panama? Okay, I'm going to get over to what's going on in Colombia right now. Yes, guys, I am going back. But there's something I want to tell you about that I heard that's very concerning. Let's see. Hold on for a minute. Look at apartments in New York. Some apartments may be, most it's just not worth the price. I'm going to pay $2,000 a month. You better have amenities or mention like control or something. Yeah, it's expensive. And you know what, most people, and you know, the amount of money that I pay here, it's not no $2,000 a month. I'm gonna tell you that. I couldn't afford $2,000 a month. If I had to pay $2,000 a month rent, it would be very bad. It wouldn't be a good thing. Mexico don't want us there. We can go to Panama. Okay. I hope Panama wants us too. But like I said, Trump is making a lot of enemies. Because you know, I don't know if you heard about Renaissance Man, but that was the thing going on between China and the U.S. who's going to take control of the Panama Canal. And you remember Trump made that statement saying that he's going to take the Panama Canal? So I don't know how Panama responded to that, you know. Even before the protest crossing that southern border is crazy. Saw a video about that. Yeah, I did too. They have to get up super early in the morning to cross into San Diego. Brutal. Yeah. Mr. Tony, are you going? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am going to Medellin. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I am going to Medellin. So we're going to get into the Medellin news.
It's a really good point. You say many tourists are unlived in Medellin. He means killed, deleted, murdered. Colombianos are blind and blame the victims. Everyone should feel safe. They always say they were up to no good. Well, that's not always true. And I 100% agree with my new friend here. There is a culture here of victim shaming and complacency towards the crime here that goes on, especially towards tourists and expats. You know, everybody should have the right to feel safe in their day-to-day life. And, you know, and to victim shame somebody and say, well, he was doing this, or he shouldn't have been there at that time, or he was wearing his gold chain. You know, that's the wrong attitude. People should be able to walk freely in the streets, wearing their jewelry, feeling safe, feeling comfortable. And the fact that some Colombians victim shame people means that at some point they may also be on the receiving end of this type of violent crime.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys what you need to be careful of in Medellin right now. Renaissance Man, is something I want to tell you that you need to be careful of. There are still tourists are still getting drugged in Colombia. Matter of fact, let me bring this picture on. Let me show you what happened. Let me bring this picture to you guys so you can see what he was. And I'm not shaming this person either. This is not shaming nobody, okay? This guy right here was drugged and robbed by a scopolamine queen, okay? I want to go either with my friend in Maryland, Florida, or New Orleans for a giant come home down there, or Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, or second run of Cartagena. Yeah, what I'm telling y'all, just be careful because there's a lot of geopolitical tension right now, especially with Brazil. You know what I'm saying? I know that the Brazilian president is really pissed off at Donald Trump. He is really, really, really angry because of the trade war. There's a trade war going on right now, guys. And you may not want to believe this or not. We are very super close to World War III. We are. My brother was in Cartagena last January, okay. In Colombia, they victim shame, and that's the other side of the problem, along with the passport fools acting a fool. Yeah. Let me tell you guys, this is the new thing that you have to be careful of in managing. There is I'm not saying all the people down there are bad. There's a lot of good people down there managing, very good people. That's why I go down there all the time. There's a lot of good people down there too. But what they're doing is, they're using extortion as a weapon now. I saw that justice was served. Yeah, you saw that. Yeah, I was watching it. But what was so crazy? What was crazy about this dude right here? And I'm not shaming him at all. But he ignored all the red flags, all of them. Yes, I know you would get drugged in Medellin, but you have to stay at a place in Medellin with security and camera. Can stay at the Marriott. Yeah, that's true. Absolutely. In Brazil, had a ramp for Bolsonaro. Okay. But this guy right here, he went through all the red flags. The number one red flag is that if a girl comes to your apartment at night at 3 a.m. in the morning, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. And the girl that he met her on Bumble, in which the U.S. government and the U.S. Embassy has repeatedly tell you, do not date on dating apps. Go to Lala Sala if you want to be with a lady or not. Absolutely. Right. See, people need to talk to people like you, Renaissance man. They need to get consultation before they go down there, because this guy evidently didn't have no consultation. He never checked for ID. He never checked for anything. He just saw a pretty face with a pretty body. And I'm not saying nothing bad about this guy. But I'm just saying that this type of mistake is constantly being made over and over again. Tinder is not the problem. It's on who's on the app. Yeah. But they tell you to stay away from Tinder, though. They tell you to stay away from it. Yeah, you have to be very careful. So what happened was he he met the girl. The girl drugged him, and she ripped off all of his stuff. She stole everything. But the good thing about it, that he was able to catch her. He was able to get revenge on this girl that took everything he had. I mean, she stole thousands of dollars away from him. But he ignored all the red flags, man. He ignored all the red flags. Yep, he ignored all the red flags. You never bring nobody at 3 o'clock in the morning into your apartment. Never do that. You can't compromise with chief or yourself. No, you can't. If you don't have the money, man, jail is not the place for it. It's not. It's not. I stay at a resort when I go. At a beautiful resort, I go. I went to Cartagena. I stayed at a hotel that checked for ID. Yep. The one I go to, they check for ID too. Yes, they check for ID. The girl can't even get into the hotel without no ID. Also, I did activities too, like the city tour. Yeah. Mine's the resort that I stay in too. Yeah, they do the same thing. They allow you to go on tours and everything. I do everything through the hotel. I don't do nothing. I don't use none of the cab drivers, the yellow cab drivers. I don't use them at all. Don't judge these people. Once again, this doesn't mean that they watch you or they see or rob or raise a race. Yeah, that's true. No 3 a.m. just sleep for me and dreams. Yeah. But he said he met a girl. He met the girl. This guy here, he met the girl. I think he was in Provenza. And all the places were closing. And she suggested to go to his place. Another red flag. Another red flag. Let me show you the picture of the girl that scoped him. This is the girl right here. That's the scopolamine queen right there. That's the girl that got him. That's the girl that scoped him. My message to the people. Yeah. They also said be at home at 9 p.m. Yep. I even got my teeth fixed in Medellin by the dentist there. Was cheaper. Yes, they are cheaper. Yes. I know a lot of people that go and get their teeth done in Medellin. Yes, they do. And they consider #1 in cosmetic surgery too. They're like the #1 place for cosmetic surgery. I did a yellow cap sadly, but I follow Razor Rays about the two girls situation and pickpocket. Yeah, avoid the two girls there in Cartagena. But I was scared. Yeah, two girls is dangerous. Matter of fact, I heard now. I heard that they're making new rules for the Airbnbs now. You can't use Airbnbs like for a night just to, for sex tourism. They cracking down on that. So Medellin is not using their Airbnbs for sex tourism. Yeah, she was a witch, man. But you know, when he got robbed with this girl, he went back to the States. He was gonna let it go. And then he like said, you know what? I ain't gonna let this slide. And he went back to Medellin. And he just happened to be in Parque Jerez and he saw her. And then he ran after her and he grabbed her. Yeah, things is changing. Things are really changing. Let me let y'all hear this guy. He talks about safety in Medellin. This is really cool, brother.
Women, you need to move different. In this video, I'm breaking down how to stay safe in Medellin, focusing on 2 key areas: how not to get robbed in the streets and how not to get robbed by your date. Now, I want to start by saying Medellin's a great city. The people that live there, in general, they're great people. Most of them are not out to hurt you, but the ones that are out to hurt you, they know where to look to find you. So that's why you got to be extra diligent out there. There's people out there that are looking specifically for tourists. Over the past few years since I've been visiting, I've noticed that the sentiment has been changing towards tourists. A lot of locals are telling me that they're being priced out of the neighborhoods that they grew up in, since there's so many gringos coming in and paying whatever for rent that they just can't afford locally. Also, I've seen stories of gringos coming out here and doing wild shit like exploiting minors and things like that, and that gets put on the news and puts a stain on all the other tourists that come out here. So overall, I'd say gringos aren't winning in 2025 in Medellin. First up, let's talk about the streets. Medellin's not a war zone, but just like any major city, especially in Latin America, it has its dangers, especially if you're moving careless. The two biggest threats that you face as a tourist in Medellin is getting robbed in the street, which is either pickpocketed or held at knife or gunpoint. The second main threat is getting robbed by a woman that you're trying to date, which in most cases, they use a drug called scopolamine, which pretty much puts you to sleep, but also you're kind of coherent enough to just do whatever they say. Pretty much you don't want this to happen to you. So the first thing I'm going to break down for you is getting robbed in the street, because that's a lot more simple. Pretty much these rules would go for anywhere in South America, but first thing, you got to be aware of your surroundings. Don't walk around with your head looking down into your phone the whole time, or walk around holding your camera like this the whole time, even though I do that, but I'm out here recording videos. But you still want to avoid having your phone out and just being distracted. If you're walking through big crowds, I always like to keep my hands near my pocket if I'm walking through a tight crowd, so I know that I'm not getting pickpocketed. I can feel my keys, my wallet, my phone. Now, if you do see somebody that looks sketchy, make eye contact with them. Let them know that you're aware of their presence. That way, they can't sneak up on you. In the wild, when there's a predator, when they're going after their prey, they use the element of surprise. When that element of surprise is taken, they lose a lot of their ability to do what they wanted to do. Like, they can't run up and just snatch your phone and run. That's probably what they're going to want to do most of the time. They're not going to want to face off in public with a knife or a gun. So if you're aware of your surroundings and you're making people aware that you're aware of your surroundings, the odds of something happening to you is a lot lower. Next thing, famous phrase in Medellin is don't give papaya, which pretty much means don't flex. If you're wearing flashy jewelry, designer clothes, and you got the latest iPhone out in every public spot, you're asking to get targeted. Keep it low key. You're here to enjoy, not to impress strangers. So necklaces, like jewelry, you don't really gotta wear that stuff. If you are gonna wear that stuff, I would say get an Uber from...
Yeah, you're right, Jake. Yeah, Thailand is changing too. Yeah, it's changed a lot. I heard it's really changed a lot, but it's like I said, it's a result of bad tourism. Bad tourism.
Your Airbnb directly to whatever restaurant or club you're going to. Spend as little time in the street as possible while you're wearing that stuff. If you're gonna go out and walk around at night, just leave that stuff at the crib. Another thing, use Uber to move around. Avoid public transportation. So there's really no reason for you to get on the metro. That's a hot spot for where you could possibly get robbed.
Yep.
Stay off of that, and don't get in a taxi that's not an Uber or not an InDriver. Like, make sure there's some type of app or some type of security that lets you know who the driver is. You don't want to get in the car with somebody, like you're with a girl and she tells you, "Oh, I can get us a taxi and they'll be out here in a couple minutes." Like, nah. I'm gonna get the Uber. Because you never know what she's up to. She might be having somebody that one of her homeboys come and pretend to be a taxi, and really they're going to drive you to God knows where and steal all your shit. Stay in an Uber. Third tip, stick to the safe neighborhood.
How you doing? Easy? I think it's the first time you came on my channel. Welcome to the channel. Glad you came. You said Tinder is easy to find. Hey guys, make sure y'all hit that like button too. Please hit the like button. Tinder is easy to find stupid name foreigners. Yeah. And did you know what I found out too was very disturbing? There has been close to 100 fatalities of foreigners from America that have been unalive because of this. Did y'all hear what I said? There has been about 100 fatalities related to scopolamine poisoning from Americans that come down there. That's a lot of freaking people, man. so they don't see it as a sex trafficking in their eyes. The laws condone this because our laws. Yeah, that's true. Yep. So that's not the problem. It's who's on the app. Yep, you're right. Yeah, thank you for coming, man. Thank you very much, Easy. I will be down there in Colombia in September. Yep. Just a little nervous, though. I ain't gonna lie. And you know what's so sad about when I used to go down to Colombia? I used to never be nervous. Never. Never, because my last experience was like I'm apologizing for the behavior of others. You know what they really think about us? They think about us as being about a bunch of horny foreigners coming down there for sex tourism. That's all they think about us as. It's like they just lost their respect for us. I mean, they don't treat you bad. I mean, I haven't got treated bad, but I noticed the difference than it was before. I don't never be on. I say not to get on the apps at all. Also tend to use a lot of, yeah, they do. Yep, they want a lot of money for service, yeah. And I also want to get into, you know what they're doing now? While we're on this subject, Easy? The new thing now is called extortion. Let me tell you what they're doing. And I found this from DC Boy Rob. I found this out from him. Is that what they're doing now? And this is really scary. What they're doing is the girls will look very young. They will look very young, okay? They will be an adult, but they will look very young. So what they do is they'll try to extort money from you. They would say that I'm a minor. They will have a fake ID saying that they are a minor. And they say, unless you pay me, I'm going to go to the police. That's what some of them are doing. And they will actually call the police. And you have to prove that this girl is lying. And I heard that some of the police are on it too on that game. I'm not saying all of them, but this did happen to somebody. This happened to someone. You know, let me tell you what happened to me one time. This is the new game that they're playing. It's called extortion. A few years ago, I was on Facebook. This actually happened to me. I want to explain this to you guys. Let me see. A woman and Tinder are so beautiful, guys. Sometimes I stop thinking. It's hard to resist a woman. Yeah, but they dangerous, though. After my trip, it kept the slogan on humor. Colombia is scary. It is. You're right, Ed. Let's see. Collective evidence. Yeah. Oh, let me finish telling y'all the story. So, what they do is they tell you either pay me or I'm going to report you, and they show you a fake ID. They show you a fake ID saying that they're a minor, and they will actually get the police involved. So the guy actually went to jail because he simply refused to fall for the scam, for the extortion. And he had to go to court and everything, but they proved that the girl was lying. He had to prove that the woman was lying. But I also heard, so yeah, about working, yeah. I'm gonna tell y'all what happened to him, and pay goon security for the bar. The cops become nationalists and they will arrest you and kick you. Yeah, they will. Yep. Extortion is what they do in Pattaya too. Women in Colombia always send them money for something, for example, food, maybe some. Yeah, you got to pay the girls in Colombia. You have to. Let me tell you something. If anybody get on social media and tell you lies and talk about, oh, I'm getting it for free, I don't have to pay, they're lying to you. Liar, liar, your pants is on fire. You are not going to get anywhere at all without no money in Colombia. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. If you want to play, you're going to have to pay. I don't care who they are. And I've met all sorts of types. And I'm not saying they're all bad. I got friends of mine there who are working girls. But they're nice to me. I know how to respect them. When we have a good time, we have a good time. We do what we do. And that's it. That's it. But when you don't pay, man, you open up yourself. You open up Pandora's box when you don't pay. There's nothing free. The girls, they say, "Oh, she loves me. Oh, she's all over me. Oh yeah. I met me one. Man, you guys are simps. You guys are simps. You guys are simps because you guys paid for it. No, you're gonna pay. In Medellin, you are going to pay. And let me tell you this, especially if they're unemployed. A lot of them are unemployed. And when they come to you, they're not, only thing they're thinking of is from how I'm going to pay my bills from day to day, how I'm going to survive from day to day. That's the mentality they have. Yeah, they do it. Yeah. There's nothing, you know what, Easy, there's nothing you can do about that. Mr. Arizona's in the house, y'all. Mr. Arizona, what's up, brother? What is happening? What's up? What's up? We're just talking about extortion, but that's what they're doing. They have changed the game. So what they're doing is, you will meet a girl, and if she wants money out of you, you don't pay her, she pulls out a phony ID saying that she's a minor. And she said, if you don't pay me, I'm going to call the cops. And some of the cops are involved in it. That's why people always ask me, well, why did you pay that girl? You don't want the police coming. You don't want the cops coming. Yep, of course, you pay. Absolutely. Yep. Colombia's not free. Well, maybe a little, but Pappy needs blood medicine. Kids, sick mama, cell phone. Yeah, yep. Because you know what? When they see you coming, only thing they see is dollar signs. You know what? I've never met a woman that makes more than me. Now, I'm not saying these women don't exist. I'm not saying that they don't exist. You know, I met women that had jobs that worked. I've met them before. But they're going to want something out of you, though. I'm telling you, it's not going to be a free ride. Now, there's a possibility if you're living down there and you have established a relationship with a woman. That's possible. That's possible. But if you're coming down there for a week, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, no. Nope. Yep. Yeah, Colombian Cupid is not a safe. Let me tell you guys, the best place to meet a girl. Yes, many don't have jobs because you are the job. Yeah, that's right. Many of them don't have jobs. Many of them don't. You know what? The first question you should ask as a woman, not only in Colombia but Brazil, anywhere you go to, are you employed? That's the first question you should ask. Are you employed? If she says no, you're going to be paying. And even if she's working, you're going to be paying. Even if you stay to get a good woman in the right class, you have to pay them with time. You have to pay, knowing the culture. You are not going to sleep with these women for free. It's not going to happen. It's not in their culture. As a matter of fact, part of their culture is the man's supposed to pay. Some of them think that you're supposed to take care of them. That's the culture. You're the man. You're supposed to do all the paying. Yeah. Also met a normal woman, nurse, yeah. But she was yeah, they like money, man. Yeah. 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 Western Union, 80%, they will turn you into a Western Union pappy. Yes, they will. When I came back from Barranquilla, that girl I showed you guys, soon as that plane hit that tarmac to Detroit, that next day she was on the phone. Oh my God, I need your help. Oh, my mom is sick and she got a lot of medical bills and everything. Can you please send me $500? She wanted me to send her $500. I said, no, I don't have $500. I did send her something, though. I did. I sent this. She did show me a good time in Barranquilla, though. I wasn't just totally stingy, but I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to get very far at all without no money in Colombia or anywhere in a foreign country. You're not. One thing women don't like is a broke-ass man. And that's here in the States, too. But let me tell you how I almost became another victim of extortion here in the U.S. Let me tell you what happened. This happened a few years ago. I was on Facebook. You know, I was on Facebook and this girl messaged me. Okay. So me and her was talking, you know, just chopping it up. I was like, hey, my name's Tony. And she said, oh, my name is such and such. I said, oh, where you from? Oh, she said, oh, I live in Chicago. I said, well, I'm in Detroit. So me and this girl was just talking, just chopping it up, chopping it up, chopping it up, chopping it up. Let me tell you what she did. So finally we decided to say, okay, maybe we can exchange phone numbers. She said, okay. So what I did was, this is what I did. I sent her my money. I'm sorry. I sent her my phone number first. Okay. And then we talked about that. Hey, you know, she said, oh, I could come up to Detroit, visit you. I could come spend the weekend with you and all this stuff. We can do this, we can do that, and everything. I said, okay, that sounds like a winner then. You just let me know when you come up and, you know, I can arrange everything for you when you come up and stuff. So me and her was just talking, just chopping it up. All of a sudden, I come home from work and I get a call, somebody saying that they were the Chicago Police Department. I said, Chicago Police. They said, yeah, was you talking to a girl named such and such? I said, yeah. And then they said, well, her parents want to file charges against you because she's a minor. I'm like, what? But I knew they were lying. I knew they were lying. So he said, well, either you can come and pay bail right now, or either you can send it to us in the mail. I knew that he was a liar. Yeah, because I called my police officer here and I told him about what happened. And he said, for number one, we would never call you on the phone. So, but that's what people are doing. They try to extort money from me, and you have to be very, very, very careful. I was trying to find a normal, nice woman without children. It is very difficult. I speak Spanish. I give up. Easy. Let me ask you a question. How long have you been in Medellin? How long have you been in Colombia? Stay away from women who want relevance. 9 or 10, those girls aren't educated and have a job. Yeah. I've been in Colombia and Oh, for 2 years. Oh, because you've been there for 2 years. Okay. Okay. Now I heard that the best place that you can meet really good women in Medellin in Colombia is the language exchange schools they have where people meet. You know what I'm saying? Do a lot of family things, you know what I'm saying? You know, when they have the outside aerobics and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I heard those are very good places to meet, you know, good women. Yeah. I would use the scare tactics to get you into. Yeah, they use the scare tactics. Yeah. At first, I was scared. I was like, oh. But I began to say, wait a minute, this phone call it sounds kind of fake. But that's what they're doing. So I'm just saying, if you're going to engage, make sure the person has ID and make sure you go to the hotel that they check in because the resort I go to, they actually scan the ID with a laser to make sure this the ID is real. And then what happens is it goes through the computer and then it prints out all these papers. And it prints out a non-disclosure forms that she have to sign and I have to sign to protect me and to protect her. I do the same thing every time and I never had no problem. It was a different city in Medellin, only 1 month. Okay. The response, Tony, mom is dying, is scary. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they want money, man. These girls, they want money. And I heard a lot of guys in Thailand, the older men, they really get taken advantage of. They really get taken advantage of. Yeah, they get really taken advantage. I heard a lot of them end up going broke. Going broke. They lose everything. They go down there for retirement, and those girls suck them out of everything. Yeah, a lot of change. Yeah, a lot of change. It's all about money now. Yeah, the ID, that's a must. I know there was a girl that wanted to come and see me, and she said, I don't have no ID. Goodbye. See you. See you later. And always like, and then let me tell you something, guys. This is very important too. Always, please, always get the social media page. Get their social media page. You will find a lot on their Instagrams and on their TikTok pages and Facebook pages. Believe me. There was one girl I was talking to. You guys seen her before too. I had her in one of my videos. And they will swear up and down that you're the only man. They will swear up and down you're the only man, but you're not. I was on her social media page and she posted a picture of her in a jacuzzi at a hotel. Okay? You see what I'm saying? I mean, she could do whatever she wanted to do. I mean, I didn't consider her as my girlfriend anyway, but let me tell you something. When you jump on that plane and head back to wherever it is that you live at, life goes on. Yeah. Yeah, make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe. Hit the like button, subscribe, please. Women know that their beauty, and women, yeah, they know that they're beautiful. They know that, and they are gorgeous. You got some gorgeous women in Colombia. Yes, you do. Some of them are just the one like Barbie. She is smoking hot. But I can truly say that I'm shocked that Barbie has not one time has asked for any money. I'm really shocked. I talked to her a week ago. I said, Barbie, I'm on my way, on my way to come and see you. She said, okay. That's all she says. Let me know when you get here. She's never said, I need money for this, I need money for that. She's never done it. That's weird, but all the rest of them, they always ask for money. They always ask for money. Yes, Thailand's the only good to visit. Living there is foolish, as you already know, the ATM women. Yeah, they want their money. Thailand's a no-go zone. Stay in the hemisphere. That's because their friends are asking. They train her to act very quick in a relationship. Yeah, that's true. And the guys, for once they find out how beautiful they look and how sexual they are. Yeah, especially the bar. I see guys all the time um on YouTube. This one guy, he's in Vietnam, and he just be showcasing these women and stuff like that, man. I said, brother, you better be careful. You better be careful with that Vietnam. In Kenya, I heard it was good, but the police tried to give bribes from you. Yeah. Also scamming there too. Yeah, they will. Yep. See, the thing is, when you come over there as an American, shishing, they think you're rich. By default, they do. By default, they think that you are rich. Okay, let me tell you the reason why Colombian women think that you have money when you come there to visit. This will be going on in their head. You go over there and you're a tourist and you stay in a real nice hotel and everything. They say, wow, he paid for a ticket to come all the way from his country to my country. I know that it had to cost him some money. And he's staying at a really nice hotel. I know they have to cost a lot of money. So they put two and two together and say, yeah, he got money. Yeah, he got money. Yep. Even though you may not have it, but they think that you got it. Paying attention to those looks and pay more attention to how they are in person. Like the respectful ones, then I'm sure that's true. But man, once you go to Colombia, boy, you're never the same though. When you meet someone like Barbie, you'll never be the same. Do the same thing, ask for money. Yeah, they do. They do the same thing. They ask for money. Yep, they sure do. Yep, it's all about money. And I talked to another YouTuber about that. I say, you're not going to get very far without no money. It's possible Barbie could be getting money. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. But it was just very strange that she never asked money from me. Now, when we got together, I did give her something. I did give her some money when we got together. Because like I said, nothing is free. You got to pay something. I took her to dinner and all that type of stuff, But like I said, nowadays you have women that not even considered as working girls, but they still want to get paid like a working girl. Yep. we are special. They just think if we have money or not. Without no money, you're nothing. Because let me tell you what they really think of, what they value as. I'm not saying nothing bad. There are good people in Colombia. To all my Colombian subscribers, there are good people in Colombia. Very good people down there. But if they rate you between 1 to 10, you're rated as a 0. You're rated as a 0. Okay? They love their family. They love their kids. And they may even like you, but that's as far as they're going to go. And then what makes it so bad is the other foreigners that have went down there that even made us even look even worse. But when I was there, the last time I was there in Medellin, the last time I was there, I spent the whole entire trip apologizing. For the others of the way how they act when they go down there. They think they're on, they say, this is what they told me. This is what they personally told me. They say, you guys don't even come down here for the coffee. You guys don't even come down here to look at the parks and the statues and stuff like that. The only thing you guys interested is getting high and working girls. That's all they said. I said, no, that's not true. That's not true. I enjoyed the culture. I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the people down here. You can't put me in a category with everybody else. I was doing that the whole entire time. I was there, from the cab driver to the Uber driver to the people working at the restaurant to the ladies that makes the beds every year. I said, no, ma'am, I'm not like that. No, I'm not. But these foreigners that went down there made it so bad. They made it so bad, so now they're like getting revenge. It comes to money in Colombia. The rate is 4,000 pesos, US dollars, 0.00. Think you a lot, and then it's a lot that you are making 13 US a day. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. Equilibrium. Yeah, yes, sir. But you know what's kind of scary though? That I know something that happened the other day. I mean, because what I do is before I go down there, I look at the ratio between the dollar and the Colombian peso, right? I look at those two. The dollar ain't doing very good. Things are changing economically. It's changing. The other day, I looked at the ratio between the dollar and the Colombian peso. It got all the way down to $1 was equivalent to 2,000 pesos. I saw that. I was like, oh my God, you ain't gonna get much for your dollar like you used to anymore. So the U.S. is falling. We are falling, y'all. I was like, wow, $1 is equivalent to 2,000 pesos? Seriously? Because usually when I would go down there, the dollar would be like 3,000, 3,500, or maybe even creep up to 4,000. You know, so if it creeps up to 4,000, then you can get a little bit more for your dollar. But it was fluctuating. One time it got down to 2,000. That's not much of a good exchange at all. I think now Colombia is good for young guys to try everything and enjoy everything. Yeah, as long as you got money, you good. So you need to get out of Poblado. Put you an apology. Come to Sapedita. Yeah, you've been telling me that to come to Sapedita. Yeah, but the place where I stay is in Poblado. And one thing I like about the place that I stay, man, they treat me really, really good. They sport the heck out of me. The service is good. And plus, it's the location where I'm at, because with the location I'm at, I'm closer to, I'm close to the malls. I go to the mall. They have ATM machines. They have a grocery store. Everything is right there at your fingertips. Everything is there. Everything is there. So I don't have to worry about like catching an Uber or catching a cab or anything trying to get anywhere. I can just basically walk. Yeah, palm trees, US dollar is still king compared to the Canadian peso. Yeah, that's true. But one time I seen it fluctuate though. Okay, yeah, that's probably just for that time. Yeah, I have Swiss money. Oh, okay, okay. Let's see. It's 1 to 4,000. Okay, good, good, good. Hey, let me ask you a question. Is the line still long at the migration office? I mean, at the at migration when you come in, I heard that the line was ridiculously long. Somebody said it took them like they got there. Let me see. They said they got there like 2 o'clock, and it took them like until like 5 or 6 o'clock to get through the line. Is the line still ridiculously long? Anybody know? Like I said about respect and finding a good woman, it was absolutely skipping all laws against plaintiffs and persecutors, doing drugs without facing prison time. Yeah, yep. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this live today, man. It was good seeing everybody. The last live I did, nobody didn't show up. You know what? I just want to tell you something, guys, before I end this live. I'm going to stay here for a few more minutes. There's a video I did about the last video that I did last week. Please watch that video, man. Please watch that video. That video is not doing very well. I don't know why. But it talked about extortion. I talked about Jonathan Majors, what he went through. What's the name of that guy? Oh my God, I can't think of his name right now. The football guy that just got fired from ESPN. God, what is his name? Oh my God, I can't. Let me see, I can't think of his name. Shannon Sharp. Yeah, that was extortion that happened to Shannon Sharp. And he was warned. He was warned. Let me see. A specific candidate to passport food was where he was just a woman, and he said no. Wait a minute, I'm trying to think what you're saying. Said to the passport food in Santiago, he didn't want to learn Pachacho when he was in Sasur. It was weird. He was on just women. And he said no condom gang. Said, he said Bill didn't do it because dudes want to go on black women hood. Manosphere do. Yeah, man. I'm just saying, if you just be careful who you date out here, man, because there are certain guys that get set, they've gotten set up. I think Shannon Sharp was I think he was set up actually. Now it's costing him $50 million. And he was warned. He didn't listen. So he lost his job from ESPN. They fired him. And he got all these sexual allegations against him. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Were you drugged and robbed in Medellin, Easy? I didn't know that. Yeah, no HIV and AIDS. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, it's dangerous, man, when you're going from girl to girl to girl to girl. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm going to give y'all some advice. If you ever slip up, you know what I'm saying, and go natural with a girl, what you should do is ask your doctor to write you out a prescription called diclocycline. Okay? It's a special antibiotic, and it kills just about everything. But you should be careful every time. So that's all I'm saying. Go to your doctor. You said I was drugged by 3 women. They tried to rob me, but I gave them money and told them I'm leaving. Wow. 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 You say you were conscious. Wow. You know what, Easy? I want you to do a favor for me. On my next live, I want you to come on my live and tell your story. Can you do that for me? You don't have to show your face. And you just can keep the same what you got now. All you need to do is come and tell your story, okay? We're going to do that on the next live. Can you do that for me, Easy? I'd like to hear your story. Wow. Wow. So you're saying, that he was going through a lot of women like raw in Santo Domingo? Yeah, Easy. You think you could be able to do that? I want you to come on the live next week and tell your story about what happened. Because people need to hear. And like you say, you can okay, yeah. I want you to come back and tell your story, okay? We need to hear what happened. We need to hear these stories, okay? This channel is based on learning the different things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to tell your story. So make sure you come back on here next week. I'm gonna put the link on the description, and you can come back and tell your story next week. I'll let you. Easy. Do you have Instagram? I have Instagram. My Instagram is Tony MA40. It's in my description too. But the next time when I do a live, let me see. This is today is Tuesday. We're doing next Tuesday. Yeah, I'd like to hear your story. Yeah, next Tuesday. We're doing next Tuesday, okay? I'll come back on here next Tuesday. And I put the link in the description. All you have to do is just click on the link. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Do you have Instagram? I have Instagram. You can contact me on Instagram. This is my Instagram. Let me put it here. That's my Instagram page right there. Yeah. told me about the romance tour is how did Jamie almost extort you? Yeah, he tried to get money out of me. Okay, easy Zaza. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Let me put you in right now. Just 1 second. Let me see here. Let me get on Instagram. 1 second here. Oh, I got you here. Okay, let's see here. Let me see. EAS. Okay, got you. Okay. Okay, got you. Okay. I just added you. So I'll let you. Yep, I got you. Okay, cool. I got you. We got each other. Cool. Yeah. That's gonna be another long story, Marcus. That's gonna be another long story that he tried to, on the romance tour. He tried to overcharge me for money. He tried to overcharge me for the romance tour. Yeah, I had many people came over here and told a lot of stories, easy. Yeah, it was one person came in here, they talked about that he got almost messed up in Costa Rica. How did you find your... What you mean? I don't understand. How did I find my what? How did you find your... What do you mean? Oh, you did find your... I did find your Instagram. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I got you. Yep, I got your Instagram right here. Yep, I got you. So I'm gonna send you when I come on live. I'm gonna send you a message. I'll let you know when I come on live. But this guy here, he did everything the wrong way. If he just would have set up a consultation with me, I would have showed him. I could have showed him. I could have saved him humiliation and disappointment and getting drugged. But the thing is, a lot of people, the biggest mistake that people make, foreigners make, is that they want to come down to Colombia for love. They're looking for love. They say, oh, I'm getting treated so bad by the women in the States. And, I want to come down and find love. You're not going to find love quick in Colombia. It's not going to happen. That fairy tale that people tell you about, oh, yeah. There's a lot of traditional women down there. Oh, yeah, they're looking for men. Yeah, there are. There are a lot of traditional women down there, which is true. But it's not easy as you think it is. And when you come down there being naive and thinking that you're going to find yourself a wife like that, you're being naive. And what they do is they home in on that. They say, oh, I got me a sucker. I'm not saying nothing bad about this guy here. What happened to him was very unfortunate. I don't wish that on nobody, but they will take advantage of you. These women will. And guess what? They take every dime you got and leave you in Colombia stranded and won't think nothing about it. They won't think nothing about it. I've seen people get robbed, lose their pass. They take their pass. Man, you don't want to lose that passport, boy. You don't want to lose that passport. You do not want to lose that passport. I heard people have gotten stranded down there over a girl. They had to call home for money, call their mom. There was one guy that got scoped. Let me ask you a question. Can you imagine your mother that never been to South America before will have to come all the way to Colombia and find you and rescue you to bring you back home? It had happened. Yeah. Like I said, they rate you as a 0. You are rated as a 0. They rate you as a 0. What women see nowadays is dollar signs. Dollar signs. That's all they want is dollar signs. Like this woman right here, she left him drugged in his Airbnb. Didn't care. She didn't know if he was still breathing. Didn't know if he still needed medical attention. She didn't care. She got what she got and she left while he was unconscious. While this man was unconscious. Yeah, I heard about that too. Yeah. Yep, 45 years in prison. Yep. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Saying it's her job. Yep. I'm telling you, you gotta get your feelings out of it. You gotta get your feelings. You can't be like letting these women, falling in love with these. Oh, I'm in love. Oh, I'm in love. I'm in love. You gotta forget about that. You gotta leave that alone. People come down there and stuff like that, talking about they gonna fall in love, find a wife. I'm not saying it can't. I can't. I'm not saying that it can't happen, but it's highly unlikely that it will happen. You know what, Marcus? If I were you, what you need to do, like I told you before, is take you a trip down to Colombia before you go on the romance tour. Because the romance tour is very, very expensive. Even back then when I went on the romance tour, it was expensive. Most romance tour, if you go on a 7-day romance tour, especially the one called Medellin.com, Find Your Latin Wife, you're talking about $6,000 or $7,000, maybe $8,000. They pay for everything for you, though. They cover the where you stay, the stand expenses and everything. But those romance tours are very expensive. Romance tours are for. Let me tell you what the romance. I'm gonna tell you this again, Marcus. Romance tour are usually for businessmen. They got money. That don't travel back and forth to Colombia like we do. Okay? They got one specific reason why they go on the romance tour is to find a Colombian bride. It's called AKA mail order bride in a way, if you want to be honest with you. They go down there to the romance tour. They connect with the girl. Okay. They go on a bunch of dates. Okay. Then next thing you know, they're discussing about the romance visa. No, I'm sorry, the fiance visa. And then it turns into one of those things that you see on 90 Day Fiance. So what you do is you get the girl's information, she gets your information, and then you guys start applying for the fiance visa. So your main purpose is basically to bring her back to the United States. That's what most of those women are in the romance tour for. They want a husband to go back to the States with them. They don't go back and forth like me. I go back and forth to Colombia, all the back and forth, back and forth, back. But they know they may go down there maybe once or maybe twice. And you're going to have to put a fiance visa when you make your fiance. Yeah, you put in, you put in. But you know what though? I'm going to be honest with you. Even though Jamie didn't run his agency like the way that he should have, I did meet one girl on there. Matter of fact, let me see. Let me show y'all the girl I'm talking about that I should have picked on the romance tour. Let me see. I'm gonna bring a picture. Some of y'all probably already seen her, but this is for the people that haven't seen her. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can. Oh, I see her right here. I'm gonna get her right now. This one right here. Y'all seen this before? This is the one right here. This is the one I should have brought back. If I would have brought the, so like I said, she's not a supermodel. You know what I'm saying? She's not like the drop dead gorgeous one, thing. But she's still beautiful though. But this woman right here, she was good to me though. She would have made a really good wife. I could truly say that out of all the girls I've met in Colombia, she was the best one. She was by far the best one. No disrespect to her. I know that I'm saying extortion. Well, Marcus, you run a risk of getting extortion anywhere. Yeah, you run a risk of getting extorted from anybody. I can't guarantee you 100% safety. You have to go out there and take a chance, brother. Like I said, the first thing that you should do at first is plan a trip. Plan your trip to go down there first, okay? Plan your trip to go down to Colombia first before you talk about doing any type of romance tour. Because you may not even need a romance tour. You may get lucky and find somebody. It has happened. It has happened. Guys have gotten lucky and found their wife in Medellin. It has happened. It has happened. Is it going to be easy? No. So I suggest to you to go down there and get a feel, for the country, for the women, Yeah, she was nice. Yeah, she was good. Man, she was good. I don't know why I messed that up. Man. Yep, I messed that up. I sacrificed a really good thing. She was, easy. She was, you can see I was staying at an Airbnb. She was a good cook. She was extremely affectionate. And she was a damn, what turns me on about a female? You know what turns me on about a female? She was a very good kisser. She was a very good kisser. I love a woman that knows how to kiss. And she was very good. It's like I would kiss her. It's like I would become into. I'm seriously. I would. Sometimes I would pick her up, sit her on the counter, and we would kiss for about a half an hour, man, just nonstop, nonstop. Yeah, they do that here, especially. That's what happened to Shannon Sharp. Yeah, yeah. That's crazy because she was an OnlyFans. She was a OnlyFans, and guess what? She's gonna be a millionaire. She's gonna be. Matter of fact, somebody told me she just quit. She just quit OnlyFans now because she don't need. She's retired because she's a millionaire because of Shannon Sharp. Because he couldn't see the warning signs that she was a plant. The Colombian guy did say some got lucky and got there. Yeah, some of them do. Yeah. Some people get lucky. Yeah, some people do get lucky. Some people do get lucky. Very rare though. But you can't get. I was lucky here. I did meet a good woman here. I'm for sure. And when I messed, and you know what? When I chose another girl, there was so many women in the romance tour. It was like it had to be like over 50 women in that romance tour. It was like over 50. You know, some of them was smoking. Let me see if I can find a girl that I sacrificed this one for. Let me answer some of these. I wanted Brazil. I heard that they could be rough. Rio de Janeiro. Yeah, they nice too. But I heard that Brazil, man, the president there that doesn't like Trump at all. I just hope that they don't reciprocate, take that out on us, Please. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all the picture that I sacrificed this girl for. I think I showed some of y'all. Some of y'all probably know. Yeah, Shannon Sharp was born. Yeah, OnlyFans. Cool. Colombian women have a lot of fire in them. They do. You right, Izzy. They do have a lot of fire in them. They do. And you know what? I'm gonna take it even further, Easy. I told people that if you plan on making love to a Colombian girl before you come down there, I would highly advise you to go see a cardiologist first. Seriously. I'm not over exaggerating. I would highly recommend seeing a cardiologist because some of them, they go extremely, extremely hard. And your heart just be racing. Just you be sitting there, you're like, and it's not like you out of breath or nothing like that. It's not like you out of shape because I'm in really good shape. But I have heard men having heart attacks because they have a lot of fire. They have a lot of fire in them. I had one, she just wanted to keep going. So, okay, let me rest first. Let me lay down, let me rest. Sweat just be pouring down your face. You have to go to the bathroom, put a cold towel over your face, over your head. Let's see, crazy Shannon Sharp, Antonio. The black female trainer when they played one game with the Patriots. Yeah. Say, don't go to Rio de Janeiro to find out work. Go to Salvador Bahia. Okay. Or to such much better options, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with it. Could be. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Yeah, let me show you guys the picture of the girl that I took, that I turned on. Let me see if I can find it. Picture's buried in here somewhere. This one right here. Let me see. There we go, right there. Let me show you her face. me see. I'm going to take some of these down. From the studio. This is the one that I sacrificed right here. That's the one right there. That's the one right there in the romance tour. Me and this woman, we still talk every now and then. We're still good friends. Her name is Esther, and she is sweet as a pie. But man, do she have curves on her. Wow, 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 wow. This is one that I sacrificed for this young lady right here. But me and her still good friends, though. She keep asking me when I'm coming back to Barranquilla. I said, I'm not for sure. I'm not for sure when I'm coming back. I'm not for sure, but Medellin got me so spoiled. Yeah. But she's, you know what's so interesting about her? I've never seen this before. She speaks Spanish and English, but she mixes them up together. She mixes the Spanish with the English. I never seen that before in Colombia when she speaks Spanish fluently and she speaks just a little English, but she takes the English and she mixes it up into the Spanish. I was like, wow, that was amazing. AKA Shannon Sharp, Ray Rice, Antonio Brown, Chris Barriano. Yeah. But you know what, with Shannon Sharp, though, he made a big mistake, though, man. He made a big mistake with that OnlyFans girl. She's rich. She's a millionaire now. Went from OnlyFans to being a millionaire. And he didn't realize that she was a plant. Why? What you mean, Marcus? You mean why? What? Let me see. And what year is what first woman? You talk about the first woman in 2018. 2018, the first woman. They both was at the romance tour. Both of these women were at the romance tour. But the last woman I showed you guys was the woman that I was going to pick to be my wife. But this one showed up. My translator said that you got one more date with Esther. Do you want to go on a date with Esther? Do you want to meet Esther before you make a final decision about the other girl? I said, yeah. And when she came in with that dress on, ooh, boy. Man, wow. You talking about curves? I just sat there, my mouth was just like, wow. She was freaking gorgeous. And I forgot all about the plans that I had made with the last one because we was supposed to have. That night, me and her had made special plans to go out to a special dinner, and I was going to give her an engagement ring. And she was going to stay the night with me, too. But I canceled. And after that, she never forgave me for it. Even though I tried to make it up. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I know I made a mistake. Can we do this again? Nope. She said, nope. Yeah, Miss G. Yeah. Yep. The black manosphere act like black women are wicked if you are they are. Yeah, that's true. You're right. Absolutely. Let's see. Renaissance, I go to Barranquilla this week. Oh, good. Now, let me tell you something. Now, as far as quality dating type of woman, like if you're looking for a homie loving friend, I'm talking about a homie loving friend, Barranquilla is definitely the place. I would highly recommend that place. I would highly recommend Barranquilla than I would over Medellin. Medellin is basically straight up pay to play. But I've heard people have made really have really got lucky in Barranquilla and really met some really good wife material women. Easy, you will enjoy. Yeah, Barranquilla. But during June it is hot. Air conditioning is a must. Air conditioning is a must. Because I was there in June. During the middle of June, I was there. And let me tell you something, it was hot every single day. It was like 90 degrees, high humidity. And I had to have air conditioning in my Airbnb. And it used to get so hot until if the Colombians are telling you it's too hot to be outside, then it's too hot. Yeah. Yeah. They all ask for money. They all ask for money. All of them do. They all ask for money. All of them ask for money. All of them do. Yes, you're welcome, sir. Anytime, sir. Anytime. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Please do that, man. Hit that like, and subscribe. Thank you. Like and subscribe. So you got blocked out and pay attention to her being a good person. Yep. Yeah, but she had a fat booty though. She did. It was, man, oh man. Whew. And then not only that, their stomach is flat as a pancake. Her stomach, you can bounce a penny right off her stomach, No belly fat, no nothing. Just gorgeous, man. Just gorgeous. Yeah, I can't sleep without air conditioning either. I know what you're saying. But we had when I was going on some of the dates in Barranquilla, some of the taxi drivers, didn't even have air conditioner. When I was with her, when me and her was together, I got so hot in the taxi cab that I actually felt like I was going to pass out, man. It was so hot in Barranquilla. And I laid my head on her lap. And she was sweating too. I said, I gotta get out this truck. I said, I gotta get out of this taxi. Let me out. And she screamed at that taxi, said, hurry up and get to the house. Hurry up. She screamed out like, hurry up. And this dude had like a little fan in the taxi, just a little like the taxi was an older taxi. And he didn't have no air. And then sometimes what was scary, well, not scary, but it was kind of hard. When we go to a restaurant, we get out of a hot taxi, go outside and it's still hot. And sometimes the restaurant don't have air conditioning. So you be sitting there sweating. You be sitting there sweating inside the, I'm like, oh man, that's not good. But that heat can be very intensive though. Yeah. If you're in Barranquilla, you're close to Cartagena. Yeah, close to Santa Marta. But we never met. We were supposed to have went to Santa Marta, but we never made it to Santa Marta. Oh, cool. You should be, you know what? You should be able to find somebody in Santa Marta easy. About the altitude sickness in Barranquilla. Yes, I felt altitude sickness. Yes, I did. I did feel the altitude sickness in Barranquilla. Because it's a feeling, that's another thing that you need to worry, be careful of. It's like a feeling when I stepped out of the airport to outside in Barranquilla for the first time, I actually felt like I wasn't getting enough air. It's weird. Like you'd be like, it's like it felt like I couldn't get enough air. Yeah, it is hot. Yeah, in certain areas, yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah. That's why I like Medellin, because that's why I got so hooked. I think the women are more beautiful than Barranquilla and Medellin. And the weather, it's just like it's a constant type of temperature. It's like a 78, 77, or 8. It might get up to 80 sometimes. But most of the time it's very like it's like a tolerable type of temperature. You don't feel like like if you go for a walk or something, you're not overheating or you're not dripping with sweat, really hot, Yeah, you gotta stay hydrated, right? Yeah, I drank a lot of water. I drank a lot. Matter of fact, in my Airbnb, I had jugs of water. Matter of fact, she took me shopping. Matter of fact, you guys probably seen videos with her shopping. Let me see if I can find that video of us shopping together. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that video of us shopping. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Just 1 second, guys. Let me see. Do I got the video? Let's see. Let me see if I can find that video. One second. Romance tour pics. Let's see. You know what? I can't find it right now, but I have it on the next one, though. I have it on the next one. I can't find the picture. I mean, the video of us, but matter of fact, if you guys look at my playlist, I do have videos of us being together at the supermarket. And I'm telling everybody that she's going to be my wife. Y'all probably seen that video, but I do have it on my playlist of us being together, and I'm just having a good time with her. Let's see. He said, I even bought sleeping pills because the heat. Yeah, that heat ain't no joke. In Barranquilla and Santa Marta, it's a must that you have air conditioning. But in Medellin, you don't have to have air conditioning. You could just open up the window and get a breeze. Yes, sir. Well, guys, we've been on here for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, man. And easy, I'm gonna pull you in on the next live, okay? Matter of fact, I'm gonna put you on my thumbnail, so I'm gonna be expecting you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna reach out to you first just to make sure. Then I'm not gonna put no picture of you, but just I'm gonna put it on the thumbnail that you could be coming on as a special guest, okay? We want to hear about what happened to you. Yeah, but to update you guys, yes, I am headed back to Colombia in September. And I'm going to be doing live streaming out there with you guys. And you are going to be there with my date with Barbie, the finest chica in Medellin. Yeah, she's fine as man. That girl's fine. Whew. She is the finest in Medellin. I consider her the queen of Medellin, Barbie. I never will forget when she came to the hotel, man. Oh my God. I mean, everything was coordinated. Her nails, her hair, the lipstick gloss on her lips, the shirt that she was wearing, the top that she was wearing showed her belly button. She had on, um, oh man, she had on a nice pair, I think she was wearing jeans. But everything was well coordinated, and her toes were just very, very well polished, manicured, very well polished, extremely well, very well polished. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds good. Hey, Joseph, we're gonna chop it up too, brother, on Instagram, okay? Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all very much. Don't forget, I just want to tell you guys that I am a published author now. I got a book called Descending to Chaos right here. It's available on Amazon. And I'm going to play that. Before I get off, I'm going to play the book trailer one more time before I get out of here, okay? That's okay. Let me know what you guys think about the book trailer on the comment section when we leave out, okay? This is my book, Descending to Chaos. I wrote this book in 2005. Everything that you see that's going on is happening right now that I wrote about in this book. Okay, it's available on Amazon. I got the link in the description. If you're into sci-fi, if you want something like an action, thriller, suspense, this is what you want. Okay? Here we go.
Hoorah! 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 Hoorah!
How did we miss this? How could we let this happen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the other book that is formatted into, just like this one too. So, okay, guys. Let's see. Let's see what they say. They say it's doing okay, but I'm still working hard, brother. When you have YouTube, man, you gotta find ways so you can be able to travel. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, that's just a book cover. That's just a book trailer. Most authors, when they have a book or something, when they put a book out, sometimes it's good to have a trailer. It helps you. It helps with sales. It helps with sales and everything. But okay, guys, I want to thank you very much for y'all for coming. This was a good live. I'm sorry we missed out on the last one, but make sure you guys come back. I'll let you know. I'll send you a notice to let you all know when I'm coming back on the next live. But easy, we're going to do it next week, though, for sure. And I will send you on Instagram, okay? Love you guys very, very much. Thank you for coming. Stay safe. There's a lot of geopolitics. There's a lot of geopolitical stuff going on out there. If anything jump off, I will sometimes do emergency lives. So but the only thing I can tell you before I jump off this live, keep your eye on Russia and the U.S. Things are getting really scary between the two, okay? And I hope nothing jumps off before my trip. I hope it doesn't. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So sometimes what I'm going to do is I have a book on Amazon. I have a coloring book too. Let me show you. I have a coloring book too. If you have kids that like to color, I have a coloring book that's also on Amazon also. It's called Happy Days Coloring Book. So what I'm going to do is, probably on the next live, I will play this one. Play this trailer too. Okay? I'll play this trailer too. But I want to overwhelm you all with too much stuff at the same time. But, when you have a channel, when you have a YouTube channel, when you're trying to travel and stuff, you gotta become, you have to become professional. NFL season's on. Your Lions played their Chargers last week, Thursday. And your Lions play. Oh man, I must have missed that. I'm about to go check out the score. Thank you for your updates on NFL and everything. Hey, you really keep me adjusted. Yeah, yes. Things are changing, guys. We're going to talk about the economic collapse even more on my next live. Make sure you guys come, man, because it takes a lot of time to put all this material together and everything. Your support on the Cash App or whatever, or Super Chat would be very nice. You know what I'm saying? Everything costs money. Nothing's cheap, man. Yeah, the Tigers are in first. Yeah, they're always in first place usually this time. Yeah. The Tigers are always in first place. Until they start getting to the playoffs, then they start sliding down. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys, I'm going to see you all on the next live. And thank you guys very, very, very much for coming on. Yeah, they're having a losing streak. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Mets and the Yankees are having. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But don't worry, I have faith in the Yankees. They usually find a way to come back, though. Yes, sir. It's a sci-fi. It's a sci-fi book, so it's more about war. So I had to be careful how I made this book trailer because it is a war. It's a war, but I can't mention too much about it because I don't want to get censored or anything like that, and they'll take it off. I hope YouTube allow me to play the movie trailer. The book trailer. But I'm gonna find out though. Yeah, you have a good night too. Okay, send me a message on Instagram. Okay. That'd be great. Yeah. Okay, you gonna send me a message? Yeah. Yeah, but the book is dealing with a war. It's dealing with a very nasty war. Yeah. The book is dealing with a very, very nasty war. But it's sci-fi though. There's some things that's going on in the book that's going to really blow your mind. But some of the things that's happening in the book is not fictional. It's almost if I was looking into the future, almost. Like somebody said, man, because when other people that bought the book, they said, man, you must have a way of looking into the future. Because there's a lot of similarities in the book of what's happening. When I wrote the book, none of this stuff was happening. But now when I look at the book now, let me see, that was 2005. This is 2025. Almost 20 years later. And I'm looking at the book. I say, damn, I talked about that in the book. So you got to read the book to understand what's going on. Okay. All right, I feel like people need to focus on is jobs that people need and AI that can. Yeah, that's why I bring all this stuff to you guys, the economic collapse, because I'm going to tell you before I leave this live tonight. I'm going to tell you it's going to get much worse. America right now is on a decline. It's a declining empire. And China, Russia, and the BRICS, and all those countries in the global south is taking over. It's getting ready to be a big change. And a lot of people's not prepared for it, okay? Absolutely. Like I had a vision. Absolutely. Absolutely. I went through a program that gave me skills to get a certain job. Do what you can do, brother. Because more and more and more people are going to get laid off. Because not only what AI is the problem, but what Trump is doing with the tariffs is a problem. Because the more that countries isolate themselves from us, they don't want to do trade with us, that affects jobs. And you got countries already, you got Canada, used to be one of our strongest trade allied countries, are talking about joining BRICS. I'm telling you, Mr. Trump made a big mistake by treating Canada this way. Canada, it was one of our strongest trading partners. And then when you have people like Canada saying, I don't want to do trade with the U.S. anymore, I'm going over here to BRICS and hit deals with China, that is not good, brother. I don't know who he has on his economic team, but he needs to fire them all. Another thing, I found out that in that program, they have something called job bio coding. Okay. The best thing, I tell you, the reason why I brought up the Umar Johnson video at the beginning of this live, Umar Johnson's luck is going to eventually run out on him. It's going to run out. I don't know if he's been paying into the system. He's just living off of donations. But if you don't pay into the system with Social Security, you don't get Social Security. Umar Johnson is in his 50s. And he's still doing all these engagements and all, getting all these little donations here. I like to know AI and cybersecurity, but I don't know if AI would take it in the coming years. AI is going to replace a lot of jobs, man. Yeah, Canada does have a lot of resources, and guess what? They say they ain't giving it none of. They say they ain't giving us nothing. I don't know what Trump is doing. I mean, I don't know who's giving him advice, but they're giving him the wrong advice. They are giving him the wrong advice. Oh, my Johnson seemed like a yeah. That's what I'm saying. He just seemed like a. Like I said, I'm not hating on the brother or anything like that. I'm not trolling because I don't troll anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing I don't do is troll anybody. Look like he's a fraud because he talked about the school back in 2014. This is stuff he be doing. That's what he's doing. People take him as a joke. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this, Easy. I know some of our Trump fans on here, but I look at economics. And I'm looking at the signs. I look at everything. I'm not Democrat or Republican at all. Matter of fact, I voted for Trump the first time. I did. I voted for him the first time. People thought I was crazy, but I did. I believe in giving everybody a chance. Just like I voted for Biden, I gave him a chance. I gave Kamala Harris. I believe in giving everybody a chance. I said, okay, you got something different to bring to the table. Okay, let's do it. But let me tell you this. From the economic data, because I talk to economists, I'm not an economist, but I do a lot of research on this type of stuff. Where's Dr. Umar? I don't know where he is now. I don't know where Dr. Umar is right now. But more than likely, he's probably living out some. There was some more stuff I want to talk on Dr. Umar, but I don't want everybody to get bored, because it seemed like when I was talking about Dr. Umar, everybody was getting kind of bored. So I just kind of rushed through it. But there have been multiple evictions from him. He's been evicted. And during the times when he was evicted, he supposedly had like thousands of dollars in donations. So if you're making that much money in donations, why can't you pay rent? You can't afford rent? And you got over $500,000 worth of donations? And back in 2014, he's talking about the Marcus Garvey's Boys Academy. Guess what? This is 2025 and it's still not up. Yeah. 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 Yeah, but I'm just saying, Easy. From all the signs and stuff that I'm seeing, right now, it's not looking good, man. What he's slowly doing is making enemies. So people don't want to do trade with you anymore. So what they do is say, okay, since he's going to put a 35% tariff on me, I'll go to Brazil and get a better deal in Sao Paulo. I go to China, get a better deal in Beijing. They don't need the U.S. anymore. The Global South is able to do its own. They have their own economic structure now. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I know one thing, but I think before I go, I think the Feds is going to get him. I hope they don't. Yeah, the WWE. Yeah, that was funny. I think he was fighting Triple H? Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. Yeah. FDMG in Delaware. What a joke. Yep. This is what when people ask him about the school, this is the answer that he always gives.
15. I want to give it a fresh look. So I want fresh doors. We got another paint job, another layer of paint. We got some floors to cover up. Once we cover up the floors, put that other layer of paint, it's time for inspection. We at the finish line. So I hope to be applying for the inspection before summer ends. And some might say, why not next week? Something always comes up every time you're at the finish line. Something always comes. Some little fix this, but we right there, So my thing is, let's get the building permitted before the end of the summer so we can have a grand opening probably for Kwanzaa. But we're going to start educating the children next.
That's what he always says. Where's the school? But he's never even talked about a business plan. He never talked about how many teachers he's going to hire. He never talked about what is the grade. Is it 1 through 6? Is it junior high? You know what I'm saying? What are you gonna do about the music department? Is you gonna have a sports department? You know what I'm saying? Sports education. I mean, that's a lot. How much you gonna pay the teachers? You know, he's never talked about that. Yeah, the world has changed. Yeah, it's changed a lot. Yeah, from Vince McMahon. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, it was with Trump fought Vince McMahon. Yeah, he fought Vince McMahon. That was funny. I like the part. Did you see? Let me ask you a question. Hey, did you see him when Vince McMahon actually picked up his wife and did a body slam on the mat? Did you ever see that? His wife came and his wife came on the mat, telling him off, and he took his own wife, picked her up, and slammed her down. Umar Johnson, easy. He talks about Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism. About going back to Africa, African culture, black men should be dating snow bunnies, all that type of stuff. But I think it all could be just for show. That's what he is. He's like he goes to try to encourage black students to, stay in school, stuff like that, That's what he talks about. That's what Umar Johnson. If you go on YouTube and type in Umar Johnson easy, you'll see a lot of stuff on Umar Johnson. Not a good business. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Linda, she used to get beat a lot. Yeah. I can't believe that Vince McMahon actually picked up his wife and slammed her down on the mat. And then the son came up there on the mat. He was mad, and he slapped his son right in front of him. I think it was WrestleMania. Was it WrestleMania 10 or something like that? I don't know what it was. But Vince McMahon used to come up there on the ring, get in the ring with a suit on, fighting everybody with a suit. Kane Tombstone on the stage rap. Yeah. I guess because they made Hulk Hogan, and he can rest in peace, huh? I must admit, Hulk Hogan, he really did make the WWE what it is, though. Hulk Hogan. But his legacy is really tainted, though. His legacy is really tainted. Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay. You have to be sorry. It's okay. Yep, this go on YouTube. You type in Dr. Umar. But I think he's a liar. I mean, well, I can't go, but I just don't see no school. That's all. Everybody's wondering. And then he did this thing about he was begging for money. He was begging for money. He said somebody got into his account. I'm just going to play just a little bit of that video again. This is the whole thing that started everything.
Morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple of dollars. This morning, I received a text message from one of my homies. He needed Dr. Umar to send him a couple of dollars. I logged into my account just to check my balance because I haven't done so since I left for South Africa back on July 10th. Only to discover that I could not log into my account. So then I called the bank to find out what was going on. And the bank told me to enter my 16-digit card number. I did that. They told me they had no record of my account. They had no record of my account. The bank that I've been with since I was a teenager told me they had no record of my account. So then I called the bank, and the bank told me that my personal account, as well as the independent Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy account, have both been frozen. Both bank accounts have been frozen. Both.
Do you guys think he's telling the truth, or you think he's being a fraud?
Bank accounts have been frozen. And I was told that there is an investigation into my personal account as well as the school account. I asked them, was this due to suspicion of any fraud on my part? I was told that it was not due to suspicion of any fraud on my part, but I was told that it was due to suspicion of fraudulent activity. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access to my personal account and the FDMG account. I was told that someone has been trying to gain access into my personal account and the FDMG account.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, if you have sent a donation to FDMG, let's give it until the end of the month to see if this gets cleared up. They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude.
Yes, he is.
They have given me no definitive timeline as to when their investigation will conclude. If you have sent a check or money order donation to FDMG, let's wait until August the 1st, Black August, and see if this situation has gotten cleared up. They told me they sent me a letter to this point on July the 10th, the day that I left for South Africa. I was told that the timeline of suspicious activity was June 25th to July the 10th. I was told that the timeline for suspicious activity was...
Yeah, he's saying that somebody got into his account and robbed him of his account, but the story sounds very fishy. But this is sad, though. I used him in an economic collapse. Umar Johnson is 50-something years old. Do you want to be doing this in your 50s? Umar Johnson, you better wake the hell up, man. Because before you know it, you'll be 60 years old. I can't believe this year I will be 61.
Between June 25th, that's when Medea went public. That's when Medea went public. Everybody knows who Medea is. July 25th, that's when Medea went public. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. July the 10th, that's when I left for South Africa. So y'all know my I believe Medea and Pastor Bussy were fraudulently trying to get into my account.
Who's Pastor Bussy?
And if we find out that's the case, they will be sued and possibly arrested, because fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is federal offense. Fraudulent activity on a bank account is a federal offense. Again, June 25th to July 10th is the period of suspicious activity. That is from the time Medea went public and I left for South Africa. So brothers and sisters, if you want to make a donation to FDMG, you must send it to PayPal. Hold off on the checks and money orders until the situation is resolved. Hold off on all FDMG Academy money order and check donations until the situation is resolved. If you want to make a donation to FDMG, send it through PayPal. Right? PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. If you want to make a donation to the school, hold off on checks and money orders until we find out what the hell is going on. The bank is investigating the fraudulent attempts on our account. If I find out Medea and Pastor Bussy had anything to do with this, I was told that they can be arrested for federal offense. I was told they can be arrested for federal offense. I was told they could be arrested for federal offense. Now, with that being said, brothers and sisters, Dr. Umar has access to no money right now because my personal account contains all of my money. I only send it to Apple Pay and PayPal as necessary. So the Prince of Pan-Africanism, for the first time in my life, is without any digital currency. So for my loyal supporters out there, if you can spare a few dollars so I can take care of Queen Mother Ifatunde and myself until my bank account is frozen or canceled so I can get my
Ifatunde, who is that? You heard what he said? Oh my goodness.
my money back and open up a new account, please hit my Apple Pay or hit my PayPal. My personal PayPal account is Umar the Psychologist at yahoo.com. So that's paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist, paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist, paypal.me/UMARTHE PSYCHOLOGIST, paypal.me/Umar the Psychologist, or hit my Apple Pay using my cell number 215-989-9858, 215-989-9858. I've never asked the people for $1. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life. I have never asked the people for $1 in my life. I've only asked you to donate to the FDMG Academy for Boys. I don't have any sons. I have 2 daughters. So the FDMG campaign is a selfless project, mission, and service to provide our boys with the education that they deserve.
Oh, Eric, what's up, man? What's up? What's up, brother? How are you, sir? How are you doing? So does he have, yeah, he has a degree in psychology. Matter of fact, I think he used to be a school psychologist. That's what they said. But he quit. And he started doing the things that he's doing. But I you know what? I don't wish nothing bad on this guy. I really don't. I don't wish nothing bad on this guy. But I think the Fed's going to catch up with him eventually. I really believe the Feds is going to get him eventually. Yup, the Feds. Because he said his account was frozen. And usually when they see some type of suspicious stuff like that, they will freeze your account. Let me see. Somebody just left me a cash app. Did they, someone? Eric, thanks a lot for the cash app, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's give him a, wait a minute, hold on. I got to give him a round of applause. Hold on, y'all. We got to give this guy a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Thank you for the cash app, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. That really helps a lot. Really helps the channel a lot. I really appreciate that, y'all. Eric, what would I do without you, man? Yeah, thank you very much for the cash app, man. Thank you very much. This would go for the Barbie fund. When I go to Colombia, I'm taking Barbie out for a date. And I'm going to stream it while I'm there too. So, yep. So I'll let you guys know the updates on Colombia, but yeah, it's definitely happening. I got my time off from work. So it's time to go. Yeah, I'm going to Medellin. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Going back. How do you say the Robin season? Going to Medellin before Christmas. I would love to go there for Christmas. I heard Christmas there is nice though. The day with Barbie will be the date. Yeah, it will be the date of the century. Yes, it will. It will be the date. Man, wait till you see her, man. Barbie is the finest chica in Medellin. The finest chica in Medellin. Yep, she is the finest chica in Medellin. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yep. So, okay. Well, guys, I'm going to get off this live. I have to get up early and go to work. At least I have a job. Thank God I can get up and get a job and work. That's a blessing. Okay, y'all keep on pushing out there, man, and make sure y'all work on your skills. Work on your skills, okay? Work on your skills. Because it's going to get really competitive out here for jobs. It's going to get really, really competitive. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's going to get really competitive out here for jobs. So y'all need to get ready, man. It's going to be, yeah, I got to sleep too, man. I got to get up and go to work tomorrow morning, man. Make that money. At least I'm blessed to have a job, though, man. You know, the best thing I ever did was to get education in the medical field. That's what saved me. I think I'm not looking at unemployment right now, and I'm trying to diversify. I'm trying to diversify my income, man, with the stock market, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, guys, y'all be good. God bless you. Thank you all. And I see you. Make sure you guys show up for the next live. The last live, it wasn't nobody there, man. I had a lot of good stuff on there. I had Lynette Zhang, and she talked about the importance of gold. This woman I was listening to Lynette Zhang back in 2000, maybe 2015 and 16. Let me tell you what she said to me. I'm going to tell you this, then I'm going to go. Back then, the price of gold, an ounce of gold, was $500 an ounce. Let's find out what the price of gold now. We're going to find out right now what the price of gold. What is the price of an ounce of gold?
The price of 1 ounce of gold is approximately $3,380 USD, though this fluctuates constantly.
It said the price of an ounce of gold, guess what it is now? It's $3,380 US dollars. But back then, when I was listening to her, the price of gold, when I started listening to Lynette Zhang, the price of gold was only $500 an ounce. So it quadrupled. Got to go to work too. Okay. Good night, everybody. God bless. Love you all very much. And thank you again, Eric, for the cash app. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Make sure y'all like, and subscribe. Thank you. Peace. Family.